Welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. I'm your host, Ron Nicoletti. I'm by the Starting Gate Oyster and Stone Crab Bar here in the walking ring at Gulfstream Park. We got great races on Friday afternoon, and we certainly have great seafood. Let's get right to those track and weather conditions. The main track fast, the turf course firm. We're starting the day with 5 consecutive turf races, and the first is 1 mile on the grass. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Jockey on the 1 is Farragal Lynch, scratch the 7, scratch number 10.
They're off. And it's Viva Bertha who comes out running well. On the outside, Too Clever by half. And between those two ladies, Lunar Luck, and these three are going to take them into the first turn. And they're clear from Simple as That, who came out running in fourth on the inside. Starship Jody follows in fifth as they make their way into the turn. And then it's Maydell inside of Rhythm Queen. And last of them all is Wild About Jazz, who's 8 lengths off the lead. So the field makes their way to the backstretch in pursuit of Viva Bertha and Javier Castellano, and they've secured command here as they move on to the backstretch. A half length on top of Ladies Lunar Luck in second position. These two go by the opening quarter mile in 23 and 4/5 seconds. And then it's Too Clever by half. Third to the outside, Simple as That follows fourth. Starship Jody is fifth. And Maydell is sixth and down on the inside, 5 lengths off the lead. 2.5 lengths more to Rhythm Queen. Wild About Jazz continues to race at the back of the field as they head for the far turn. Viva Bertha still the leader, a half a length. Pressed along by Ladies Lunar Luck through a 46 and 3/2 mile. These two head into the far turn, 1-2. Too Clever by half and Simple as That right in behind them. And then it's Starship Jody on the outside in fifth. Maydell rides the rail sixth. Wild About Jazz is getting going now. And Wild About Jazz is 5.5 lengths off the lead, but progressing under a hand ride as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. And it is Viva Bertha and Ladies Lunar Luck, and these two are going to turn for home together. 2.5 lengths back to Maydell. Simple as That to the outside, Starship Jody. Wild About Jazz down the center of the course. Viva Bertha and Ladies Lunar Luck, these two coming down to the line together. Ladies Lunar Luck hits the front. Ladies Lunar Luck is going to do it. A late charge from Rhythm Queen, who got up for second outside of Viva Bertha, and then it was Maydell.
Number 4, Ladies Lunar Luck. Very nice performance. Overlay pays a sharp $22.40 to win. Owned by P&J Stables, LLC, and GDS Racing Stable. Trained by Gustavo Delgado and ridden to victory today by Luis Saez. Race number 2, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. These are claimers, and they are 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races. The 2-1 favorite, number 10, Moonlight Bandit.
They're all in line. They're off. Vega had a very good start. Vega goes out to the front to the victor. On the outside, Scott Speed 2. And outside of them, it's Natural Order and Moonlight Bandit. These 4 out front early on. And then it's Discipline and Golden Spear. Romeo Lima behind them. Doc Curlin to the inside, followed by Sunset District. And last of them all is El Almirante, who is 10 lengths off the lead as they make their way into the first turn, where Vega is the leader. And Vea shakes away now to lead by 1.5 lengths over to the victor as they make their way onto the backstretch. That first quarter's up in 23 and 3/5 seconds. Natural Order is third to the inside. Moonlight Bandit fourth. And then it's Golden Spear in fifth. 5 lengths off the lead as they move on to the backstretch. Romeo Lima's hard held back there in sixth with 6.5 lengths to make up. And then it's Sunset District on the outside. Doc Curlin goes up in between horses. Discipline's lost a few positions, and El Almirante is trailing the field. They continue their run up the backstretch with Vega and Javier Castellano in front. They went a 50 flat half mile here, and Vega has slowed things down up front. The lead is just a half a length. To the victor on the outside, kept close running in second. Natural Order just in behind them. Moonlight Bandit fourth on the outside. Romeo Lima gets going from fifth. Now 4 lengths off the lead, but starting to move up outside of horses. Then Golden Spear to the inside. Doc Curlin trying to get involved too. Still under a hand ride here, about 3 lengths off the lead as Vega takes them to the top of the stretch in front. 3/4 in 1:15 and 3. They're into the stretch. Vega off the turn. Moonlight Bandit on the outside. These two now side by side at the 8th pole. And they're being followed by Natural Order. Romeo Lima and Doc Curlin finishing well on the far outside. Moonlight Bandit to catch as they come down to the wire. And Moonlight Bandit will win it. Vega holds on for second, and then came Doc Curlin, Natural Order, and Romeo Lima.
And number 10, the favorite, Moonlight Bandit, scores for owner John Oxley, trained by Mark Cassie, and ridden to victory today by Julian Leparoux. We'll take a break, be back for race number 3. Welcome back. Race number 3, 1 mile on the turf. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Scratch number 12, Senora de Fatima.
All in line. They're off, and it's My Little Darlings who had the best start. Perfect Trace is away running in second position. And there it's Lying Eyes who's going up on the outside in third. Dee's Causeway is fourth and down on the inside as they make their way into the turn. And then comes Happy's Twins on the far outside. Navajo Kitten goes up around Wonderful Star on that first turn. Then it's a break of another 2 back to Rockin' Ronda. Premier Dame is there on the outside. Starship Sassy is second last early on. And Alley Cruz at the back of the field. And up front, My Little Darlings has kicked on and has opened up a 6-length lead onto the backstretch. Goes by the opening quarter in 23 seconds flat, isolated on the lead here. My Little Darlings about 7 in front. Lying Eyes is second as they continue their run up the backstretch. And then it's Dee's Causeway who's down on the inside of Perfect Trace. A length and a half back to Happy's Twins, racing inside of Navajo Kitten, and they're about 9 lengths off the lead right now. Then it's a break of another 2 lengths more back to Rockin' Ronda, who's racing just to the inside of Wonderful Star, moving for the far turn. So it is still My Little Darlings in front. A 46 flat half mile, and My Little Darlings lead is down to 2.5. And then it's Lying Eyes, Perfect Trace, Dee's Causeway to the inside. Rockin' Ronda looks to get going now, splitting horses 5 lengths off the lead. And beginning to put in a run is Alley Cruz down on the inside. As they come toward the top of the stretch, it is still My Little Darlings trying to take them all the way. 3/4 in 1:10 and 3, and My Little Darlings with a furlong to run will have to deal with Rockin' Ronda, who's coming on now as they come to the final 16th. Rockin' Ronda getting to My Little Darlings and goes on by. Rockin' Ronda and Luis Saez to win. Alley Cruz is going to get up for second. Then My Little Darlings.
What a perfect ride by jockey Luis Saez to win with number 1, Rockin' Ronda, owned by Steve Clisaris, and Richard Brunsworth, trained by Steve Clisaris. That was paid $8.80 to win and gives jockey Luis Saez his second win on the day. The 4th race, 1 mile on the turf, a starter optional claimer, 3-year-olds and upwards. Scratch number 3, Midnight Notes. Also scratch both main track onlys, number 11 and number 12.
They're off. Losing the rider was Golden Rifle. Losing the rider at the start, Golden Rifle. And Tyler Gaffleone is okay. He got right up. MC Squared is going to go to take the early lead as the field moves into the turn. It's MC Squared to the front. On the inside is Undertaker now trying to squeeze on through there down on the inside. Scrumptious follows third by another 4 lengths. And then it's Texas Zip, Saffron Hall to the outside. In behind them, Hard Enough is next, and then Concert Stage. And at the rear of the field is Starship Zorro. The first quarter was in 24 3/5 seconds. They're on to the backstretch in pursuit of MC Squared, who's on top by almost 2 lengths. Scrumptious on the outside is running in second. Undertaker is third, and they're cleared 3.5 from Texas Zip and Saffron Hall, who've got that loose horse right in front of them. And then comes Hard Enough. Concert Stage is next, and Starship Zorro last after a 49 2 half mile. Into the turn, MC Squared's lead a length and a half. Scrumptious runs along in second. Undertaker is third to the inside. And then comes Saffron Hall. Texas Zip is after that. And they're followed by Concert Stage, Hard Enough. And at the back of the field is Starship Zorro. So they're coming to the top of the stretch with MC Squared and Scrumptious turning for home together. MC Squared and Scrumptious into the stretch. And they're 4 lengths ahead of Saffron Hall in third. Scrumptious on the outside. MC Squared, and Scrumptious. These two will decide it. MC Squared on the inside, Scrumptious on the outside, coming to the line. MC Squared holds on over Scrump Delicious, then Saffron Hall, Texas Zip, and Starship Zorro.
Number 8, MC Squared avoids the loose horse there and wins, pays $10.80, owned by DASL Stable LLC, trained by Joe Sharp, and that gives jockey Luis Saez his third victory on the Friday card. Fifth race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf, the rail setting 115 feet. These are maiden 3-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 9, the 11, and number 15.
They're off. Good start by Fair Prospect on the inside. There goes Old Sport to take the lead. Looking Forever is right up there too with Raza Brook, and then Flatline to the outside. And going up in between horses comes Amen Alley as the field makes their way into the turn. A rail run there for Old Sport, who's down on the inside now, racing about 5 lengths off the lead, or rather on the inside John's Kitten, who's about 5.5 lengths off the lead around that first turn. And then it's Ender's Cat going up on the outside. Break of another 2. Then it's Alcazar de Maram. Honor Earned down toward the inside. At the back are No High Quality Prince and Command Control, and they went 23-1 for the quarter, and they make their way onto the backstretch. Old Sport, the leader, Looking Forever on the outside, second. Fair Prospect is third on the inside, and then it's Reza Brook. And they're being followed by Flatlined. On the inside, Amen Alley about 5.5 lengths off the lead. And then it's Ender's Cat, followed by John's Kitten to the inside. Honor Earned is there with Alcazar de Maram. Then comes Command Control and High Quality Prince. 47-2 was the half-mile time. Into the turn, Old Sport up top. Old Sport heads around the turn in front by a length. And then it's Looking Forever in second. On the far outside, Flatlined is going up in third position, midway on the far turn. Then Fair Prospect and Reza Brook in between horses. Amen Alley is next, and they're coming toward the top of the stretch. Old Sport still there, 3/4, 111-3. Into the stretch, Old Sport and Flatlined on the outside. These two by the 8th pole together, and Amen Alley's trying to come on and get them with Fair Prospect down on the inside. Old Sport digs in. On the outside is Flatline. Flatline Old Sport. Flatlined in front. Flatlined over Old Sport on the wire. Then a photo between Fair Prospect and Amen Alley, and John's Kitten fifth.
Number 13, Flatline, scores and pays $19.60, owned by Brian Hitech, Rodney Payton, and Ryan Kuhn, trained by Scooter Dickey, and that gives jockey Julian Leparoux his second victory on the card. We're going to take a short break and be back for race number 6 in just a moment or two. Welcome back. Race 6. It's a 1-mile claiming event for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races, or 3-year-olds. Scratch number 3, Some Midnight Star. The off-time favorite, even money, is number 10. All Over It.
They're off. All Over It on the far outside had a good start. Fastidious Sun, Starship Verdict, and Whitfield's Return all have some early speed too. And through on the inside is Drinks After Work as the field makes their way down the chute and toward the back stretch. It is All Over It in front. All Over It, the leader, leaving the chute. Whitfield's Return on the inside runs along in second. Then it's Starship Verdict third by a length and a half. They're being followed by Drinks After Work off duty to the outside. Fastidious Sun is next. Break of another 2 to Sky Over Flats. And then comes Al Caravan and Super 6 Phil on the outside. 24 flat was the first quarter. Moving up the back stretch. And it is Whitfield's Return joining All Over It on the lead. These two together as they make their way into the turn past a 47 flat half mile. And it's 2 lengths to Starship Verdict and Drinks After Work on the inside. Off duty is 5th, 4.5 lengths to make up. Then Fastidious Sun moving around El Caravan and Sky Over Flats. And at the back, it's Super 6 Phil. They make their way toward the quarter pole. And it is Whitfield's Return and All Over It. And they turn for home together. These two, 3/4 in 1, 11 and 2. They're into the stretch. All over it, trying to shake away from Whitfield's return. Whitfield's return keeps on battling, though, with a furlong to run. It is all over it on the outside. Whitfield's return continues to fight, and they're well clear of Drinks after work in third. All over it's going to have to work hard for it, but all over it will get it done. Whitfield's return, a game second. Then Drinks after work, Off Duty, and Starship Verdict.
The favorite, number 10, All Over It, scores and pays $4 even, owned by John Penn, ridden today by Javier Castellano and the trainer, Peter Walder. Race number 7, 7 furlongs, maiden claimers, 3-year-olds, and upward scratch number 4, Woodford Pine.
They're off. And it's Tempiento who comes out running well. There goes Osorno from the inside up to grab the lead. Fury of the Nile came out third to the inside. Farther out, JB Quick and Attilius. Break of 2 to Vinny White Shoes. Sedula Ocho to the outside of them. And then it's Mr. Joshua going up in traffic there, about 5 lengths off the lead and really into a tight spot in steadying. Then it's World Leader. They continue the run up the backstretch. Osorno on the inside is the leader. Tempiento's alongside second. Outside of them, it's JB Quick. They went 23 and 1 for the first quarter mile. There's a half mile to go. Then comes on the inside, Attilius running along in 4th position as they make their way into the far turn. Vinny White Shoes is 5th by 2.5. Mr. Joshua's got a clear path now, moving by Fury of the Nile, and it's 5 lengths more back to World Leader and Sedulo Ocho around the far turn. The half was 46 flat, and it's Osorno who holds the lead as they come toward the top of the stretch. Osorno turning for home in front by 1.5 lengths. JB Quick on the outside is second. Vinny White Shoes trying to mount a rally from third. Tempiento's down on the inside, then Mr. Joshua. Osorno with run left in him, a furlong out. Here comes Vinny White Shoes on the far outside. Osorno and Vinny White Shoes, these two down to the line, and Luis Saez grabs another. 4 on the day. Vinny White Shoes over Osorno, and then it was JB Quick, a late move from World Leader for 4th, and then either Fury of the Nile or Tempiento.
Number 6, Vinny White Shoes, a dancing son of Pulpit, wins it for Starlight Racing, trained by Todd Fletcher, and gives jockey Luis Saez his 4th victory on the card. What a day for Luis Saez. Race number 8 is a 1-mile maiden claiming event for 2-year-old fillies. Got a full field of 11 runners going to the post.
They're off. Olympic Smoke came out running well and goes out to the early lead along with Scotland Bay from the inside. These two with speed, and Mimily joins them too to be a part of the early pace. And then comes Crystal's Cantata, who's coming through an opening on the inside as the field makes their way out of the chute. Olympic Smoke is the leader. Olympic Smoke on the inside, battles up front with Optimistic Outcome and Temple Fur to the outside. Break of another 2 back to Crystal's Cantata, who's 4th and down on the inside as they continue their run up the backstretch. Then it's Scotland Bay, Baby Antonella between horses. Diplomatic Affair, Mimily to the outside, 2.5 back to Meeting Francis, and then comes Champagne Time and Virgin Morena. The first quarter was in 24 and 1, and they race past the half in 47 and 2. They make their way into the far turn, and it is Olympic Smoke in front. Olympic Smoke from Optimistic Outcome on the outside. Second, Temple Fur is third. Crystal's Cantata, 4th on the inside. Scotland Bay, 5th, and moving 3 wide on the far turn. A 4-wide run out there from Meeting Francis, who's trying to get going, as Diplomatic Affair saves all the ground just in behind the leaders, coming to the top of the stretch. 3/4 in 1, 13 and 4, and Olympic Smoke has been there all the way on the lead. Olympic Smoke, Optimistic Outcome, Diplomatic Affair at the rail, and the far outside Crystal's Cantata. Here's Crystal's Cantata up and after the lead now. Crystal's Cantata has taken over. Optimistic Outcome and Diplomatic Affair battle for second as Crystal's Cantata draws away. Diplomatic Affair gets second. Optimistic Outcome ends up third, and then it was Olympic Smoke and Meeting Francis.
Number 3, Crystal's Cantata wins it, pays $11, owned by Brent Furlong and trained by Kathleen O'Connell, ridden to victory today by Eduardo Nunez. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back for the late Daily Double.
They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Mucho Macho Man has the lead close to home. Mucho Macho Man!
Welcome back. Race number 9, 1 mile on the fast main track. An allowance optional claimer for 2-year-old scratch to 5 asterisk. Also scratch number 6, 20 and 4.
They're off. Brighton Lane came out a little bit at the break. It is Destin going out to the front with Golden Ray right alongside, and right behind them toward the inside is Pilot House with Mr. Ellie as the field makes their way out of the chute. And the leader is Golden Ray. Golden Ray on top, Destin to the outside, running in second position. Mr. Ellie is third. On the inside comes Pilot House. Break of another 2.5 lengths more back to Brighton Lane, and then Sumter at the back. And they went 25 and 1 for the first quarter. So not much pace on here as the field heads up the backstretch with Golden Ray leading the way. On top, a length and a half. Into second is Pilot House. Destin is third to the outside. And then it's Brighton Lane in fourth, moving for the far turn. 3 lengths off the lead after a half mile in 47 4/5 seconds. Sumter is moving now from fifth. Sumter's 4.5 lengths off the lead. And then it's Mr. Ellie around the far turn. And it is still Golden Ray from Pilot House and Destin. And now Destin pokes his head into second, but is under a drive here. And now under the whip from Javier Castellano as Golden Ray turns for home in front. 3/4, 112 and 3. Golden Ray in front. Destin full out, running in second position. And on the outside comes Sumter in third. Final furlong. Golden Ray still there. Destin still trying hard. It is still Golden Ray. Destin on the outside, not getting to Golden Ray. Golden Ray holds off Destin. And then came Sumter, followed by Brighton Lane.
Number 4, Golden Ray springs the upset, beats the big favorite, number 8, Destin, and Golden Ray pays $59.40, owned by Golden Legacy Stable LLC, trained by Juan Andres Rodriguez, and ridden to victory today by Miguel Vasquez. The 10th and final race, 5.5 furlongs. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, or 3-year-olds. Scratch number 9, Star Blessing.
They're off. And it's Flashjack. Flashjack out quickly and right alongside of Flashjack up the backstretch is Gracious Humor, and these two are going to go at it early on. They're 2.5 lengths ahead of Dancing My Way, who's away running in third to the inside of Cyndia as the field makes their way into the far turn. Venom Girl is down on the inside in fifth, and then it's Pure Bliss in sixth, followed by Nocturnal Q and Kiki's Tony, Arte Latino and Dichosa at the back, and now it is Gracious Humor in front. A 22 3/4, and now a 2.5 length lead for Gracious Humor on the far turn. And then it's Flashjack and Dancing My Way on the inside. Cyndia running in fourth, followed by Venom Girl and Nocturnal Q. Turning for home here, Gracious Humor in front. Turns for home on the lead here by 2.5 lengths. Gracious Humor now 3 in front. And then it's Dancing My Way and Flashjack on the outside. Gracious Humor still 2.5 lengths to the good of Flashjack. And Dancing My Way on the inside. They're both closing the gap late. Here comes Dancing My Way and Flashjack. And the 3 of them hit it together. Flashjack and Dancing My Way right on the line together. Gracious Humor ended up third. And then it was Venom Girl and Nocturnal Q.
Number 1, Flashjack gets the close photo, owned by Jose Ariel Ramos, trained by Angel Rodriguez, and ridden to victory today by Raul Mena. In the pick five, 5 of 5 paid $10,478.85. 4 of 5, $54.10. They nailed a Rainbow Six, one ticket, 6 of 6, $129,904.18. But there is a carryover in the Super High Five going into Saturday's, $6,017.98. And that wraps up Friday's action. Remember to join us on Saturday. We have a great card. First race post, 12:05. We got 11 races, which includes 3 stakes races, and one of those, the Grade 3 Mr. Prospector, with the defending champ, Speechify, coming back to try and defend its crown. And we have turf racing for 3-year-olds. We have the Tropical Park Derby for the boys and the Tropical Park Oaks for the girls. It's going to be fun. First race post, 12:05 p.m. Good night and good luck.